So they pimped the Timp. Just seemed I couldn't resist. Collection had to be completed. Here we have the Altra Timp 2. So Altra Timp 2. Starting from the bottom, obviously we have the Max Track outsole with the Interflex. Not very aggressive lugs, so it'll be a good shoe for transitioning from road to trails. I doubt it's going to hold up too well in the wet, but it looks obviously it has that slight split there as well in the back, like the Olympus does, but obviously not so profound. We have 29 millimeters of the Quantic midsole, and I'm a huge fan of the Quantic midsole. I just find it works so well on the Torin 4.5, in the Superior, which is obviously the Superior 4.5 is 21 millimeters, so this has quite a lot of extra stack height in there. Not as much as the Olympus, which is 33, but it is light. This is an ounce lighter than its predecessor, the 1.5. I have heard that they have made the toe box a little bit narrower. They have sort of made it a little more snug and compact, which has annoyed a lot of people, a lot of sort of true Ultra fans. But also I've read reviews that it does open up over time. It does open up, so your first initial sort of response, you kind of have to forget about it. So whatever not completely forget, but you just got to give it a few good 2 or 3 runs, and apparently it opens up. And have a chat about them. Let's try them on, see how they feel. Okay, so the initial response is true. It does feel a little bit more snug. So what I just wanted to do was just double check that the widths were the same. So taking the Ultra, let's say the Altra Torin inner sole out, and comparing it side by side with the Timp, the inner soles, the space is actually identical. There's no difference between the width of the insole. But what I found is that the insole they give you in the Timps are really thick. But not only thick, they're actually pretty hard. They're very different from let's say the Torin ones, which have a very soft, springy insole. These have quite a really hard insole, which probably will flatten out. And I think that's why people probably find it opens up over time. It's not so much the space, it might be the fact that this height of the hard insole fills up a lot of volume in the front of the toe box. Therefore, you just feels that millimeter or two restricts the space a little bit. So switching out into a different insole, this is one from the Torin, immediately it feels absolutely fine, perfect. There's just a couple more millimeters of space, and it feels spot on. And that's without running into it. That's just straight out of the box. So no doubt it will open up more. But just a word of warning, or just a word to the wise. Don't be freaked out if you do get it. Try it on, and it's like you suddenly think, "Oof, this is way too small." Because actually, switch the inner sole, and you'll notice that the width is exactly the same. So here, 2 inner soles side by side. There you can see it marries up completely. In fact, if anything, there's a tad more on the Timp there, weirdly. But so yeah, that's just a little side note. Okay, so just got them on, and they feel spot on, as I thought they would feel. They feel just like in between the Superior and the Olympus. That 29mm stack height of the Quantic midsole just feels awesome. But obviously they feel just a bit lighter and a bit more nimble. I'm not saying more nimble, but they do feel lighter than the Olympus, obviously, which they are. And they have that just a bit more cushion, well, quite a little, about 8 more cushion than the Superior, so they've got a lot more protection underneath the foot. They're not necessarily as comfortable in the upper as the Superior, with that Superior glove round fit. But they are extremely comfortable. Nice gusset tongue. The heel counter, it feels great. Yep, all very smooth. This fabric actually is the same as the Timp 1.5. Not as cool looking as the, I suppose, well, actually they're okay looking wise, but that's obviously all relative to the person. But yeah, hopefully they don't, that tread, it's not much there, but hopefully it doesn't clog up too much mud. And if it does, hope it drops out quick, because right now things are really muddy and slippery. But so far, so good. They feel really comfortable, good true to size. The width does open up nicely. They're not narrow. They're not any narrower than the other ones, so I'm not sure why. Or I think the overall volume in the toe box at the front is less. but they're not necessarily wider, narrower. So yeah, so first impressions are good. So I'll have to take them out tomorrow, test them out properly. Let's see if we can squeeze in a good 2, maybe 3 hours. And I'll see you in the morning. Morning. So I'm about an hour into the run, and yeah, as I expected, they feel great, all good. There's no issue with the sizing, with the width, although there definitely is less volume in the toe box, so I wouldn't want to be wearing super thick socks. So yeah, so there's definitely a little less volume in the toe box, but I don't think it's much of an issue for me anyway. They're not as tight as the King MT2s, for instance. And actually, I think these shoes, these ones might fit narrower feet, or more normal feet better. So if you haven't tried Ultra, I think the Timp 2 would be a good choice to start with if your feet are pretty normal in size or even narrow. But the underneath, the cushion is great. There's a nice balance, a nice swing to the shoe. That 29mm of Quantic midsole could almost be spot on, perfect, ideal, because it's not too weighty to feel there's like a big clunks of lead underneath your feet, but there's a lot of protection, and enough protection without a rock plate to feel confident to go for a long time, actually. Okay, we're about an hour and a half into the run, and yeah, there's no hot spots, feeling very comfortable. Things are opening up slightly and just breaking in a little bit. Quantic midsole is working perfectly, and the whole fit and the form and just comfort of the shoe is spot on. So yep, no complaints, all good things. Obviously it's just the first impressions. We'll have to see how it goes in a month or two, see how they hold up, but all good so far. Okay, so I had a good chance to actually, for the first time in a couple of weeks, get some food in before I ran this morning. Because kids have been home, it's homeschool, I've had to get up really early, get out with no chance of getting food in, which is fine for every now and then a bit of fat loss and everything, but it's quite a lot of stress, and after about 60 minutes I was feeling just a bit fatigued. But today is good. 90 minutes into it now, 98 minutes, and after banana this morning with some peanut butter, spoonful of peanut butter, and a sort of plant-based protein powder berry mix shake that I made last night. Not much, about 300 calories, but that seems to have set me up. And also I've just had one of these. I don't know if you can sort of see that, but it's got a Huma, I don't know how you pronounce it, chia energy gel. These are new for me, but all natural, so there's no crap in it, and they taste really good and actually seem to do the trick. Gotta say, just coming up to 2 hours, about 20 kilometers. This is definitely the best run of 2021. Just feeling it, it's really good. Annoyingly, well, not so annoyingly, my headphones died literally about 10 minutes into the run, but that just put me into a really nice flow state because it's quiet. Things are quiet out here right now. I haven't really passed many people, not many cars in the distance, and it's enabled me to get into a really nice just flow. I won't get all hippie about it, I won't get all hippie-ish, but just to feel good. Yeah, no, I'm really enjoying this one. So not too many distractions, which enables you just to focus on your breathing, on your foot strike, and just enjoy the run. So yeah, good run, really good. 20.5 kilometers, just 2 hours, all nice and well, fairly easy with some a few hard repeats in there as well, just a bit of speed play. And gotta say, definitely the best run of 2021. These shoes were great. They have really held up. Surprised actually by the grip, and really pleased by the way they drop the mud too. But yeah, I'm not going to bore you any longer about the shoe. So far really good, as I thought. So yeah, and also yeah, just really pleased actually. That run felt good. 2 hours. I've got to get home now because obviously wife and kids are back, and I could have gone on for longer. I felt like I could have gone on for another sort of hour or two, definitely, at that easy pace. So all good.